ऐसे करते 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 these stupid cheesy things that many dank edgy kids don't want to do will lead you to a place where you actually start becoming happy for what you have in your life. Okay, let us talk about relaxation, how to beat stress. जब से मैंने टिम फेरिस शो को सुनना शुरू किया था, which was around 2016, I've been conducting several experiments on myself. इसको इंग्लिश में बायोहैकिंग भी कहते हैं. Basically hacking your biology to see what works for you and if you can bypass the constraints of science, even as a citizen of the world, even as a casual person who's interested in biology, तुम वो कैसे कर सकते हो. I've experienced massive levels of anxiety in the past, and I've achieved some degree of rest and relaxation through a bunch of tried and tested techniques जो मैं बताने वाला हूँ. This is particularly helpful for those who have some kind of a creative job. What I mean by that is if you create anything, चाहे तुम artist हो, designer हो, coder हो, writer हो, entrepreneur हो, researcher हो, anywhere where you have to use your knowledge, right, work something out of it and present it to the world or create some kind of a product, this is helpful for you. Caveat ये है कि I am not a medical professional by any means, so take this all with a grain of salt. ये सिर्फ मैं बता रहा हूँ, someone who runs 2 YouTube channels, 2 podcasts on them, has a consistent writing output, and I also run one writing cohort and a new course launching soon. So with all these things, I mean, when I entered the world of content creation or knowledge working, I did not realize that there would be lots of things that would take up my attention and inevitably cause stress and get me to lose focus and make me paranoid and anxious and not relaxed. तो ये सब चीज़ें मैंने काउंटर नहीं करी थी. उसके बाद से ही it's been roughly 8 or 9 months of doing this consistently with lots of gaps and lots of absences, and I figured out a couple of things responsible for that. Sometimes you can get so stressed that it can knock you out completely. तो उन सब को mitigate करने के लिए my own strategies, my own processes to make sure that I'm relaxing enough ताकि जब मैं अपना output produce करने आऊँ, the output is spectacular, I'm able to get a lot more done and I'm able to keep a calm mind, most importantly, right? Because one thing that happens when you're stressed or anxious is तुम वो सारी चीज़ें और लोगों पे अपने आसपास के project करते हो. So what I mean by that is if I'm confused, I'm going to project that onto my team, right? Causing a ripple of confusion, which is okay. कई बार human beings ऐसा करते हैं, but if you're consistently doing that, there's clearly a problem. Same with your family and friends, right? So how to mitigate that best? आज हम इस वीडियो में उसके बारे में बात करने वाले हैं. This is not a writing video. This is just tips that have helped me get to a place where I can at least consistently for the last 6 or 7 months, I'd say the last 4 months, I have written and published content, text content every single day without fail, in some capacity. तो वो वाली जो चीज़ है that has been made possible by some of these techniques that I use. Of course हम लोग और depth में जा सकते हैं if I was a medical professional or if I wanted to like just go on, but because this is just personal anecdotal empirical evidence जो मैंने अपने आप पे use करा है, I refrain from doing that. Anyway, let's get into it. So I think the number one thing to reduce stress for me right now is the gym. Funnily enough, maybe you were not expecting it. The reason I love the gym is number one, it is plain and simple for me because वहाँ पे मेरे को decisions नहीं लेने. I just have to go and train my body for an hour, 45 minutes a day, do it 5-6 days a week. उसके अंदर जो obvious benefits होते हैं of better mood, right, better posture, more muscles, just overall body के अंदर dopamine ज़्यादा आता है, adrenaline ज़्यादा आ जाता है, all the feel good neurotransmitters you need, right, you get all of that. Besides, you can also see yourself going forward in an upward momentum, तो वो progress करने में बड़े मज़े आते हैं. Funnily enough, the analogy with any kind of physical workout, any kind of physical activity that promotes well-being and reduces stress is जो तुम्हारा mental stress है, you can flip it around by putting your body under physical stress, right? And not the sort of bad stress कि जहाँ पे तुम you're doing something very dangerous, but in the sense कि when you sort of work the body out, you starve the mind, उसके अंदर जो भी भसड़ चल रही होती है, all that mental noise, right? And get you to the level where your problems, your stress gets to a level where it's बैलेंस्ड इनफ. ठीक है, एक पॉपुलर एनालॉजी जो मैंने ट्विटर पे एक बार देखी थी, गुड स्लीप विच इज़ द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ कोर्स, एंड वर्कआउट reduce your problems to the level they're supposed to be at, optimum level, right? So if you don't have that going on in your day and you decide कि you will consistently produce some kind of creative output, उसको करना over time मुश्किल हो जाएगा because you have no external factors firing into your process, right? Oftentimes एक workout के बाद the energy that I get, the focus that I get, the feeling of relaxation that I get is just enough that I can come here and fire away at a video or write a lot of tweets, which is what I typically do, right? So that definitely boosts productivity apart from promoting overall sense of relaxation. ठीक है, एक ये चीज़ हो गई. Now sleep के ऊपर एक पूरा एपिसोड बनाएंगे इसका पूरा, like I'll talk about sleep because apart from listening to the fantastic Huberman Lamb podcast on sleep, which I highly recommend, Andrew Huberman ने मेरी एक tweet को retweet भी करा था Twitter पे, which was super nice. I have found that this जो sleep का जो पूरा फंडा है ना, I've done so much research on it, I've tried all kinds of things to optimize my sleep, but I wasn't really successful because of discipline problems या फिर रात को लेट तक उठना, और but now that I've figured sleep out for the most part, sleep तो obvious चीज़ है ही अपनी sleep की quality को enhance करना. Let's talk specifically instead in the second point about what to do when you're stressed and have not slept very well. ना सोना या 4-5 घंटे सोना also increases stress, also increases anxiety because your body gets into fight or flight. Any biologists in the comments can correct me if I'm getting this wrong, but मेरे को तो generally ये समझ में आया है. उसका best तरीका क्या है कि you stop your work day in the middle and you do a 10 to 15 to 30 minute power nap. अब पावर नैप के लिए सिर्फ ये नहीं कि आंखें बंद कर देनी है, बिकॉज देन what will basically happen is you will enter some kind of a meditative state for sure. That is the state of the world we live in, कि सिर्फ आंखें बंद करके लेट जाना ही is meditation, right? In fact, one of the most effective ways. But there is a specific playlist I use on the few days that I'm not able to sleep properly, and as a result वो stress महसूस हो रहा होता है, and हमारी कोई deadline है या हमें कुछ काम करना है जो is of maximum importance. तो हाउ डू वी डू दैट? स्पॉटिफाई में एक प्लेलिस्ट है गाइडेड मेडिटेशन फॉर पावर नैप के नाम से, हम उसे लिंक में डाल देंगे. इट हैज़ एवरीवेयर फ्रॉम 5 मिनट 10 मिनट 15 मिनट 20 मिनट 30 मिनट तक के पावर नैप्स, राइट? और उसका इंटेंशन भी ये है कि जो भी तुम्हारा स्लीप का डेट है, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना कि कर्जा है स्लीप का, वो बची हुई है, इट्स नंबर वन अ वे टू सॉर्ट ऑफ रीपे सम ऑफ दैट स्लीप डेट. प्लस ये गाइडेड मेडिटेशन इस तरह से होती है कि तुम उसे चलाते हो. There's a woman who comes on and she talks about, she sort of lulls you into sleep. पीछे जो भी sleep के अंदर there are, theta waves, beta waves and alpha waves, some stuff like that. I'm not too sure about it. But जो भी, what is the optimum ambient waves / sounds you need to fall into sleep, वो पीछे चल रही होती हैं along with this guided meditation. I've tried a bunch of them on YouTube. This one, considering how Spotify is more accessible, तुम अपने फ़ोन को एयरप्लेन मोड पे डाल के विद जस्ट द वाईफाई ऑन एंड नोटिफिकेशंस ऑफ, यू कैन डू दिस. आई फाइंड दैट द Spotify version makes the most sense. So these power naps will give you a boost. ये चीज़ तुम खाना खाने के बाद भी कर सकते हो. Maybe you feel like too fatigued or whatever. You can do this specifically when on the days you've barely slept. तो ये छोटे छोटे इंक्रीमेंट्स भी स्लीप के ऐसे मिल जाएं. बाय द वे, जब तुम ये सो रहे होगे ना, you won't exactly fall asleep. The whole idea is कि you fall into semi-sleep, which is relaxing and recharging enough that you can fight on for 3 or 4 hours. ऐसा उम्मीद करना ऐसा ना हो, because overall अगर तुम regularly ऐसा करते हो, that leads to more accumulated stress and a lack of relaxation. पर if it does happen, having a power nap playlist on the side is very handy. That's number 2. Number 3 is box breathing. This is typically for stress caused by being hyper anxious कि ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, ऐसा नहीं हुआ, ऐसा नहीं हुआ, trying to do too many things at once. एक मशहूर नवल रविकांत का ट्वीट है, एनजाइटी, persistent unspecific anxiety is caused by wanting to be at too many places, doing too many things, something like that, which is the opposite of silence. ऐसा ही कुछ है. Maybe I'm getting it a bit wrong, but that's generally the idea. तो उसको mitigate करने के लिए I do this thing called box breathing, which was introduced to me by my friend Samar Shuran, जो मेरे पॉडकास्ट दोस्त कास्ट पे भी कई बार आ चुका है. बॉक्स ब्रीदिंग you can look up. इट इज़ बेसिकली अ सिटीजन्स, जैसे बोलते हैं कि प्रोफेशनल्स अलग होते हैं, ये लाइक इट्स अ सिविलियंस वे ऑफ मेडिटेटिंग एंड जस्ट barely getting started कि तुम्हारा काम तो हो जाएगा. It's an instant relief from stress. It promotes instant relaxation and then also improves focus. Box breathing care, I'm sure you can find tutorials, but generally the idea is, so inhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds. Do a couple of these, 1 minute के लिए करो, do 4 or 5, and I guarantee you instantly feel more relaxed. So that's another way. एक बहुत important, the third point that I want to make is make no decisions after 9 p.m. or in general eliminate as many decisions as you can from your life. You can go very fancy there. You can start wearing the same clothes like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg to eliminate that completely. I have tried that in the past. While it is great, it does reduce a little bit of flavor from my life. तो मैं वो नहीं करता हूँ. But the specific part about 9 p.m. is because around 9 p.m., considering my newfound discipline regimen that's been going on for about a month with some very spectacular results, मैंने चीज़ notice करी है कि if I do any kind of even a video idea और हमें cohort के लिए ad run करने हैं या नहीं run करने, a small business decision done after 9 p.m. opens my mind up to all possibilities. And basically अब मेरी body के लिए समय आ गया है सोने का, to tune down. I don't want to make decisions at that time, because if I make decisions at that time, there is a part of me that gets stuck there. You know, there is something that Elon Musk once said, then I looked it up. It's called context switching, right? अगर मैं इस कंप्यूटर में बैठ के वीडियो बना रहा हूँ, सडनली मैं इस कंप्यूटर पे बैठ के इस स्क्रीन पे बैठ के आई स्टार्ट चैटिंग विद अ रिलेटिव, राइट? दो अलग कॉन्टेक्स्ट हैं और मैं उन्हें स्विच कर रहा हूँ. सो दैट स्विचिंग sort of robs you of focus, right? And makes you a bit anxious and makes you less effective than you're supposed to be. तो उस सेंस के अंदर making no decisions after 9 p.m. and adopting a general policy of eliminating as many decisions as possible. मतलब इसका मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि be indecisive or don't do anything productive in your life. I'm just saying कि there is a popular essay by Tim Ferriss that I will also link in the description called Make One Decision to Eliminate 1,000 Decisions, something like that. That could mean maybe letting go of some areas of your life that require bullshit decisions but are not yielding a high reward. तुम्हारे को इतना फ़ायदा नहीं मिल रहा उससे. That could also mean delegating some tasks if you have people in your life जिनको तुम delegate कर सकते हो. That could also mean adding decision constraints. For example, अब हमने डिसाइड करा, जैसे मेरा नाम है जैक बुचर, मैं विजुअलाइज वैल्यू मशहूर ब्रांड चलाता हूँ. What constraint he's made is I will only use the colors black and white. Now he's doing that as a designer. For the rest of his life, all his designs will be black and white. उसने करते ही he's eliminated the need to make design decisions for all his life, right? That's one way of looking at it. तो इस तरह से decisions eliminate करना will free up more time to one, not only get more relaxed, but then to also engage in creative work. Because if you're the creator, but then also the manager of your work, but then also the executor, the operator, right? ये 4-5 hats पहनना makes you slightly less effective in the area you're supposed to be most competent in, right? तो decisions को eliminate करना जितना ज़्यादा possible है, उतना better होता है. This is what I've done to a large extent unsuccessfully in the first part of my content career, but then I'm getting better and better at it, and I can see कि इसका direct impact होता है a clear head where I don't have to worry about ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, ये नहीं करा, वो नहीं करा, right? Where I only choose, मैं ये 4-5 चीज़ें करूँगा, बाकी सब कुछ either I put it off to the next day or I delegate, और मैं ऐसा decision लेता हूँ that I don't have to take any more decisions, right? This could just be like मैं हर रोज़ एक टाइप की कॉफ़ी को कोल्ड ब्रू करके रखूँगा, done. This could also mean stuff like you start prepping your meals in advance, right? Whatever it takes to eliminate decisions. And I'm not saying कि spontaneity का scope मत रखो, ये मत करो, वो मत करो. But like if you're inundated with anxiety, if you can't even function, if you're so stressed because हर तरफ there are decisions to make, and this has happened with me by the way. जब मेरा पुराना setup था, वहीं पे someone from my team, Sahil, was sitting, and उसने मेरे को 1 मिनट के अंदर 5-6 decision देने के लिए बोल दिए, which were all from different directions. I was like, I need a break, क्योंकि इतनी सारी चीज़ें in so many avenues can just frustrate you. And I realized कि that needs to be paced out. So better to simplify and basically eliminate decisions in the areas of your life that you do every single day, ताकि जो तुम्हारा creative work है, that your free time, whatever you have left, that you can be really innovative with, वहाँ तुम अपने आप को challenges दे सकते हो, वहाँ you can make decisions, right? Now the other thing, of course, in sync with our brand is free writing. This is particularly helpful on the days जहाँ पे guilty as charged, मैं भी सुबह उठते ही कई, maybe I can do like 15-20 minutes of scrolling, right? And so scrolling through all of my phone, my feed, my notifications, उससे होता क्या है कि my focus is scrambled, my mind is scrambled, I'm unable to sort of have a clear focus for the day. And even in my tasks, then I'm constantly checking this phone, dopamine की hit ले रहा हूँ. It's a bad policy for the rest of the day, right? It makes me less effective than I need to be. तो उस चीज़ को mitigate करने के लिए I found that free writing, again the standard 4 pages, made a video on this. If you're new to this channel, you can check it out, one of the first videos on this channel, allows me to break the script. मतलब कि अगर मेरे मन में distraction, animalistic instinct को follow करना, अपनी biology का slave बन जाना वाली script चल रही है, allowing myself to use words and putting those words on paper to cement my reality right in this second for 4 pages allows a gap between जिस नेगेटिव स्पायरल में मैं जा रहा हूँ स्क्रोलिंग वाले and the ideal way in which I want my day to be, which is an upward surge, right, generally. So doing free writing where, I mean, all the anxieties, all my worries, all my stresses, everything that's जो भी मेरे chest पे that's weighing me down, I write that down and that causes me to cause a rift. उस rift के अंदर I sit back and I'm like, great. And then वो switch हो गया है and you know the context switches again. And now I'm in a state of not only just relaxation but also creativity. Why? क्योंकि मैंने 4 पन्ने लिख दिए. You know, I've engaged in the process of writing. Now, you will know, of course, once you start something, initial resistance के बाद it gets better. And then you want to produce more, right? So one thing I often do to not only promote relaxation but to also boost creativity and like go to the places जहाँ मैं अपनी main writing करता हूँ, वो जो Twitter होती है primarily, is I started with a free writing session. It promotes massive levels of relaxation. There is enough research on it, but it also allows me to be creative, right? Okay, point number 5, another way to relax is, and this is only applicable if you have friends in your life. So if you don't, I suggest you get them because life will become increasingly boring and lonely and you don't want that. You want a good relationship with solitude, but you don't want to be lonely. तो दोस्तों के साथ सीन क्या है with camaraderie is, you can look it up as a word, it's basically जो playful एक exchange होता है दोस्तों के बीच में. Why that is helpful. Now I know बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जो hustle culture के इतने बड़े proponents हैं that they often, you know, remove their friends from their life कि ये चूतियाँ हैं, ये घटियाँ हैं. Now I'm not making a case for not eliminating toxic friends from your life because I think that's helpful. What I'm basically saying is दोस्तों से मिलना, engaging in an activity that is generally not always centered around some kind of getting high or alcohol, because even that has consequences on your stress and relaxation the next day. But किसी भी तरह की activity where there is a playful exchange of ideas, jokes, conversations is massively helpful for beating stress. And sometimes great ideas come from meeting your friends and engaging with them, right? This could be playing a sport with them, right? This could be just hanging out with them, going on long walks with them, anything of that sort. चाहे 15 मिनट की 5 मिनट की मीटिंग हो. That exchange of a pre-existing relationship, तुम वहाँ आते हो, you exchange more, right? You transform and you go back. Suddenly you're like, I have a community, I have a tribe, you know, I have a bunch of people in my life who love me and I love them back. इस तरह की चीज़ है. All of those things are great for beating stress. ये सेम चीज़ अपनी फैमिली के साथ भी कर सकते हो, provided your equation with your family is okay. Sharing a meal with them will have at least the same effect as long as you're beginning to talk. Now I understand in this point of the video हमने 5 points कर रखे हैं. I want to stop for a little second and say that by no means is this scientific advice. This is clearly stuff that only I have done that has worked tremendously for me. तो अगर तुम्हारे लिए ये काम नहीं करता, I would highly advise you to pick and choose, but do experiment. ऐसा नहीं कि एक्सपेरिमेंट मत करना, and make up your mind accordingly. Beyond that, there is the obvious sort of lame gratitude. Cheesily enough, I used to hate gratitude wali exercise karna ki I am grateful for the sun, for my family, for having food in my belly, all of those things. Although I don't right now, abhi maine kuch khana nahi khaya. But it's surprising. My mother has become a big advocate of the law of manifestation, which is different than the law of attraction, whatever that is. मैं उसमें ज़्यादा जाता नहीं, but she often reminds me to be grateful. And I think as a young person, जब तुम कुछ बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हो, when you're trying to build, it's very easy to want more and sort of get in that loop, that spiral, जहाँ पे you are in a state of wanting as opposed to being abundant and being like, wow, there is so much around me, right? Let me be grateful for this. Surprisingly, apart from working out, the biggest thing that has helped, और एक सेकंड का स्विच होता है हल्का सा बस, आई एम रिमाइंडेड, हे विनम्र, बी ग्रेटफुल. एंड आई एम लाइक, इनक्रेडिबल, कमाल है, आप लोग मेरे को सुनते हैं, आपको बातें पसंद आती हैं, मेरे को मौका मिलता है आपसे इस तरह बात करने का, अपनी बातें आपके समक्ष कहने का, एक लूप बनता है. कितनी कमाल की चीज़ है, कितनी कमाल की चीज़ नहीं है ये कि हम अभी बैठ के बात कर पा रहे हैं इस वीडियो के माध्यम से, राइट? सो दैट लिटिल स्विच वेयर आई एम लाइक, आई एम ग्रेटफुल फॉर व्हाटएवर दिस इज, राइट? Also known as cognitive reframing, particularly helpful if you have persistent anxiety, persistent stress, right? छोटी सी चीज़ के लिए, वाह यार मैंने नई शर्ट पहनी है आज, कमाल है, और क्या बात है आज तो सन इतना बढ़िया लग रहा है. ऐसे करते 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 these stupid cheesy things that many dank edgy kids don't want to do will lead you to a place where you actually start becoming happy for what you have in your life, right? And if that is not the gateway to relaxation and stress relief, I don't know what is. Because तुम एक स्टेट में जहाँ तुम एंक्शस हो, परेशान हो, you go through a state of I have enough, I am receiving enough from the universe, and तुम जिम कैरी की तरह ऐसे थोपड़ा चमका के हंसते हो, that is wonderful. That is a wonderful state to be in. So anyway, these are some of the ways, techniques, things I use to maintain relaxation in my life and to beat stress. They include power naps, box breathing, free writing, camaraderie with friends, working out and gratitude. अगर आपको वीडियो बढ़िया लगा, if you want me to make more videos of this nature where I discuss my own experiments beyond the realm of writing, then you let me know and we shall make something like this happen. ठीक है? That being said, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Shaatir out.